guys, time to pour another pint of knowledge here on the rounds. I had kind of a momentous Sunday today, and for those of you that know me personally, I think you know what I'm talking about. So I thought it might be time to break into kind of a special occasion beer. So I have here my last of a few bottles of Infinium I was lucky enough to cop just last year. So this is the 2011 Sam Adams Infinium. And what you have in this beer is a full-on fusion beer. It's a collaboration between two breweries, the world's oldest brewery in Weihenstephan, and they actually have a 5-year college program to which the owner of Gordon Biersch, his claim to fame is actually being the first American in 50 years to graduate from that college. So Weihenstephaner has a pretty hefty heritage to it. As of 2040, they will have been brewing beer for 1,000 years. So that's pretty insane. And they've teamed up with Sam Adams here on this one, and they've created the Infinium. Now, what you know of the Infinium is probably that the ads ran a good bit longer than the supply was around, and that it'll run you in the neighborhood of $20 a bottle. I imagine more so if you were trying to buy it off the internet. I actually served this back during Christmas to my fiance's parents with a really nice surf and turf selection that just absolutely killed. We did a bourbon glazed salmon, and we did a gorgonzola cheese reduction on top of some really nice steaks. I believe there's a video blog about that. Look it up, see if it's there. Comes in at 10.3% alcohol by volume, and I'm going to wager a guess as saying this is a pro tulip glass. So really you're going to get the most out of your beer by using a tulip for this particular beer. Deep hue to it. You can see really tight, compact effervescence. Obviously a little more hefty than champagne, but similar build in terms of your pocketing. Deep honey hue to it. I'm getting a lot of effervescence off the bottom of this glass. It's really getting stirred up by the agitator in the bottom here. Now, apparently there was a lot of controversy this past year. A lot of folks loved it. A lot of folks hated it. I can tell you that I was lucky enough to have this beer in 2010, and I was actually really, really impressed with it. Now, I've had a couple of bottles of the 2011, and I would venture to say I have noticed a slight variation in the flavor profile. But I mean, I really have yet to determine if I think that's going to be like the malt character or where the change actually took place. It does have a nice fruity little nose to it. I served this, the people that I've served this to, for the most part, have not been hardcore beer aficionados, but all of them have taken to the bouquet almost instantly, really enjoyed the smell, and then, of course, halfway into their beer, they turn to you and go, "How much alcohol is in this?" You go, "Oh yeah, you're not driving." That's just kind of how that goes. But nice, fruity little nose to it. Almost like a bit of pear. Light citrus. Maybe almost borderline cidery characteristic to it. So maybe on that drier kind of white fruit side. Yeah, this bottle seems to have a good bit of that sidey characteristic to it. Now, bear in mind, I've also sat on this for, I don't know, 6 months now? Four? So, yeah, 4 or 5 months. Right on that border. And with alcohol content this high, typically you'd be able to store this for a long period of time. But because they made sure to adhere to Reinheitsgebot and the German purity law, come on people, you know this. If you have questions about the German purity law, feel free to post them. I, however, cannot guarantee that your fellow viewers will be very kind. I will go out of my way to explain to you what that is, but we don't have time for that right now. So it adheres to Reinheitsgebot. They only use noble hops. What does this mean? This means that the beer oxidizes a bit faster. So this is actually due to be served by July of 2012. So there's that. Head's broken down a good bit. The malt's not overpowering. I feel like I still kind of get like a funk or a spice note from the yeast. The hops are there. The hops in this beer are, in my opinion, specifically designed to reflect that dry characteristic you get at the back of the palate, like you would in a nice champagne, like a brut or an extra dry, and really not over the top in your hop characteristic. Light, finishes clean, dry. Almost similar to Sriracha Ace, although I think Sriracha Ace is a little bit less like a champagne beer than this one. But this is, I mean, I think it's pretty damn well done. I consider it to be one of the most unique beers I've had in the past few years. Nice, dry. Yeah, when you're thinking food pairings, I want you to think about how you would typically use champagne and go ahead and match it up that way. You know, and there's all kinds of ways to do that. Chocolate-covered strawberries, cupcakes, any assortment of variations. So that's about it for the rounds here, guys. I'm in too damn good a mood to really focus too much more. So that's it for us. We will see you over our next pint. Have a great day, man.